Crypto God here, and today we're here to say konnichiwa with OreNo bets. That's right, we got this whole thing going on here where we're bringing you a project that's gonna be going to launch.
Nice.
And you guys are some of the first motherfuckers to hear about it in the entire space, because that's always my word right there. We bring you new shit every day. How you guys doing? We got three gentlemen here, lovely gentlemen. We got Bishop, Mochi, and Shinji in the house. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Thank you very much for having us on.
Well, of course. So, Shinji, my man, like, I'm excited. I'm hearing money. I'm hearing ladies. I don't. This is a ride, and I need to go. Right? Like, sign me up. So tell me a little bit about this project.
All right. Do you want me to start off with some about the background, how it came to be, or just directly into the project?
Well, let's first off explain what the it is, and then the background. How about that? Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's go.
OreNo Bets is probably the most unique betting platform right now out there. I don't think we have any competitor. Essentially, what it allows you to do is you become the host of the betting pools. So whatever you want to set up a bet on, let's say it's your local, football teams doing something, or, England versus whoever next, or Italy, you can set up your own betting pool, advertise it out on Instagram, Twitter, Telegram, whatever, charge a fee for people to get onto it and put money into it, and then make money while you do payouts. And it's all in crypto, so no KYC, right? That's what our promise is. You being allowed to host your own pools and betting pools without KYC.
Hell yeah. So basically, right, if I'm having a party, okay, and we get really drunk and just want to bet on which person's going to vomit first, I can create my own little gambling ring through my house.
Yeah, you just get onto the app, you open it up, you set up a new betting pool, and you tell everyone to connect up with their wallets, and then you guys just put in a bunch of money in there. And then, at the end of it, because it's a private bet, you guys determine who the winner is, and then all the payout will happen there. Wow. If it's a sports bet, or if it's an esports bet, or something that's very verifiable outside, the system will use an oracle to go out, verify it, and then come back in and then do the payouts.
Oh, that's awesome. So essentially, like, this is your one-stop shop for any kind of gambling your heart could ever desire.
Yeah, we want to focus on the betting side of events rather than the casino games. But yeah, essentially it's gambling across absolutely anything you want to gamble on.
Oh, that's fantastic, because I got a friend who, like, has been single for a long time, and we got bets on how long it's going to take him to find a girlfriend.
Yeah, perfect. That's the exact kind of thing that we want people to be able to bet on, right?
Yeah.
Just to kind of jump back.
I'm the friend, and everybody thinks going to die alone. So.
Well, maybe you shouldn't be advertising that you're interested in meeting up with the stars.
Well, they need love too.
They do. I think she's single, so.
Hey, I don't judge. I have my own body count. They need love too. Like, why not?
Yeah, of course. Everyone's a person, no?
I don't want people to disqualify me from relationships because of my job.
Well, no. I wasn't. I was saying maybe like your potential in your area might be like, yo, is this guy trying to actually hook up with a Japanese star now?
I mean, I ain't gonna lie. If the potential's there, yes.
Fantastic. We do this project together. We invite her over. We invite you over, and it's a match made in heaven.
Let's go. So on the topic of Japanese, right?
Right.
On the topic of Japanese for a second. My roommate, he does research on everything, and he sent me an article about how there is like such a underwhelming like lack of male talent in the Japanese industry. And he's like, bro, you should just go work in Japan if you want to just bang a bunch of Japanese chicks.
But I mean, Mochi's very connected with that scene through a buddy of his who's a producer here. So I'm sure he can get you fully set up.
I mean, you're so right, Crypto God, that they are chasing older folks. They cannot find young guys to play the actors. So actually, they hire older folks because obviously they cannot get late. So it's the only option for them. So if you come here, I can connect you with this producer. You will get paid, and you'll probably get laid with a bunch of Japanese stars.
Hey, and then I live happily
Come
ever
any-
after.
And then
Come
we can
anytime you want, man.
we can make a bet on the platform on who you'll end up marrying.
Oh yeah.
Win-win-win situation.
It's a win-win-win. You guys seen the movie Deadpool, right?
Yeah, of course.
If they had your app in the Deadpool movie, they could have just because they place bets on when everyone would die.
Right.
Who would die
See,
next.
there you go.
Like there's so many different ways you can use this project. This is actually pretty fucking cool.
Right.
I
got to tell you the story of where it came from, right?
Yeah.
This is my little. It came from the U.S. presidential election, and it was literally like who's going to win? Is it going to be Trump or Biden? And
Yeah, you could bet on anything now.
Right, and it was pretty. It's like the world's most watched thing, right? At that time, I mean, everyone was focused on the elections, and it was a highlight of the conversation. And people want to get these bets going. And myself and this other person who's a developer who's not with us today, unfortunately, we're talking about it and we're trying to set it up. And PayPal has too much KYC, and people, it's like mendokusai or rather annoying to do it. And that's where the concept originally started off. And then we couldn't do like just money payments, so we just said, all right, you know what? All the losers buy the winners a meal at this pretty nice restaurant here. And it had to evolve to that because we couldn't get an easy way to just pay each other where we're all segregated or separated rather due to COVID.
Right. Yeah, it's really interesting too. But see, here's the thing. In my friendship circle, we use a very specific kind of currency to where, like, on betting. And it's the winner that gives rather than receives. We bet slaps.
Nice.
Slap bets.
See, that might be a little bit tough if someone you're betting with is sitting in Germany.
Yeah.
And you're here in Japan. It's like, hey, come visit me so I can slap you.
They're not going to visit. I slap hard.
Right.
Here's okay. So I don't there's a show called How I Met Your Mother, and they had slap bets in that,
Yeah.
And so I started integrating this into my real life because some of my friends are broke and we're a bunch of idiots sometimes. And then we figured out how to make the game more exciting than just betting on events and slapping each other. We started taking D&D dice and spinning a D20, and whoever rolled highest got to slap the other person immediately.
This just sounds just like a whole drunken fest of slappiness.
It was sober.
Oh, no.
Well, there's benefits, right? You get to bond with the other person. If you don't like them, you get to hurt the other person.
Unless you lose.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to win some, you're going to lose some, right? And that's the thing. When you're locked into a bet competition with your buddy, you pick how hard you're going to slap them because you know how hard you slap. Whoever slaps first determines how hard you're going to get slapped later on.
This sounds like a Rochambeau thing. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I Rochambeau you, and I'm all right.
It is exactly what it is.
Right.
But, we could use your app to bet on who gives up in the slap bet competition first. Or they can bet on who gets slapped next.
Literally anything you can conceive of to bet, you can make a pool for it.
Right. Have you seen the slapping competitions out of Russia?
I have. Those things are just crazy. I mean,
that would be a fun thing to bet on.
Who's next going to snap next? Or those things, they get vicious.
Oh my god!
There's always these monster guys, right? These huge dudes who.
Yeah, did you see that one that they did in the prison? They had the really big black guy and the really big Russian dude, and they were just...
No, I didn't see that at all.
Oh my gosh, man. It was crazy. They slapped each other each 10 times.
Wow, I don't think I've seen anything go past 3 slaps usually.
Yeah, no, it was nuts. And then you started seeing their faces started to bleed a little bit. And it was a whole thing. But I really like the use case of this. This has a lot of just like, you know, people can then start gambling on like esports for their favorite teams of like Call of Duty and shit. Like it's a really cool f***ing idea and project, man.
I mean, you know, one of the issues on BSC and these meme coins is there's a big flurry of activity and things just kind of die down and people lose interest, right? So this is a project that literally anyone, anytime, you take a lot of Southeast Asia, there's a lot of individuals who, you know, need jobs or whatnot. They can just do this as a secondary income source. And, you know, they have like huge channels, right? Some of these people. So you have someone out of China running huge betting pools in China, which, you know, Tron came to power because it allowed a lot of no KYC gambling from China.
So you guys are going to be launching your token, right?
Right.
When this is going? Because I want in, because I need to place some bets.
We got to change a little thing on our website just to make the whitelisting part a little bit easier. We are allowing people to sign up for whitelisting as of yesterday. So we've got about like 50 something names, but the feedback was it was a little bit difficult to see. So we're going to change that around, and we haven't really been advertising. We'll whitelist initially for this week, and the launch will be next weekend.
Okay. You know, I kind of want in. I ain't gonna lie. This sounds fun.
It's going to be big.
It brings in.
It's a real use case.
It brings in two of my favorite things: gambling and.
There you go.
Yeah, I was going to say slapping, like slapping and pawn.
There you go.
So, and then when you add the slapping into, then you got a party.
I'm sure there's lots of that as well.
There is. But yeah, well, see, like, so my relationship of talking to stars goes back to like I interviewed the Rocket gals. You know?
Oh, right.
Like they're friends of the podcast, and then we had like and there's this new token out there that's coming out that's like them, and me and my buddy from Everrise, Mr. Dr. Crypto Vendor, me and him are going to start interviewing stars together, and that's going to be hilarious.
That's quite the channel setup, right?
You know,
I'm definitely going to be watching those.
You know, I'd live. That's
hello. I'd like to interview you for crypto.
Yeah. Let's go. You know, I think that's how I'm going to start approaching them. You're like, hey, you want to come on the podcast?
Yeah, it's a great one-liner, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Podcast?
Okay.
Yeah, it's a crypto podcast. And then later we can figure out what that means.
A private podcast.
It's a private podcast. Where's it airing? Yeah. Oh my gosh, man. But this is super cool, man. You know, you gotta have an exciting announcer to announce this token and the use case.
I mean, look, that's our issue, right? You know, Mochi, he works at Amazon. He's a hardcore techie dude. Bishop has run massive enterprise, Asia-wide, global-wide platforms. And myself, I've been in sales and marketing in a slightly different, more technical environment. So getting into this whole BSC shilling stuff, it's been a unique learning experience.
Yeah.
So yeah, we definitely need to have that help to push this out and get people to understand what the platform really is about and the potential. And it's not just the mini baby Doge Everrise Floki kind of thing. Mm-hmm. You know, there's like a million of those right now, and you know, it's just different. One part I know we have people with some concerns about is we're not renouncing the contract because we can't. We have to do continuous development on it.
Well, yeah.
We have.
Let me speak on that real quick. And then when people have a problem with it, you send them to this interview real fast, right? If they renounce the fucking contract, they will never be able to list on any other exchange outside of the one they start on.
Right.
Like, listen, renouncing the contract is a rug move because they are not looking past their first exchange.
Yeah, and I think this is the part where people just don't realize what.
Bitcoin didn't renounce their fucking contract.
Right.
I mean, they might have. I don't know. I doubt they did. Like,
There's a lot of development, security aspects that needs continuous development on it.
right. I mean, what if you guys think of something really innovative to do and you got to go do it? Or if you want to get listed anywhere else other than pancakeswap.
Right.
Like, it doesn't work if you renounce the fucking contract. Like, they want that security and so on and so forth of, well, I'm not going to get rugged in the first week, right? But that's the thing. If your crypto's a gamble to start with, all right, you pick your bets intelligently and you invest. So don't invest more. And this is important too. Don't invest or bet more than you can afford to lose.
Exactly.
Like that, especially with this project, because, they're going to see gambling and porn and they're going to want to throw all their money at it. Like, be smart, people. Be smart. Like, as exciting as this project is, like, for me, it's like I never invest more than I can afford to lose. Like legitly, I don't invest more than I know that I'm going to need that week.
Right.
Like, if I know that I only have $50 to work with that week, I'm not going to invest 75. I'm not going to invest 51. I'm going to invest 50. If I can't afford to lose $1,000 and keep everything going, I'm not going to invest 1,001. I'm only going to invest that initial grand, right?
I mean, part of the issue is everyone sees these, these DeFi apps that, promise the world. And there have been people that have been extremely successful and made lots of money in early investments, right? I mean,
well,
there's one project
that's where the money's at. But it's
now, once you get in a little bit later, there's a much bigger risk because you don't know which way sentiment's going. A lot of people got into Doge when it went up to 0.75, and now they're probably not that happy. And they're just hoping it's going to go back up.
Well, they bought high. They bought high.
Right, exactly. And it's the hype, right? People don't understand it.
Like, I don't buy into, I like buying when the fucking market goes down, like it's been.
Right.
I like that. Now the markets, I had said we're going to see how good at prediction I am come Monday. Because Germany made a move where yesterday they started the process of putting 20% of all their portfolios into cryptocurrency.
So you think it's going to start skyrocketing from now?
I think we're going to start seeing movement. I don't know about skyrocket,
right,
but we're going to start seeing movement. Now, if they do it all at once, then yeah, we have a very good possibility of seeing Bitcoin at over 100K if they dump it all into Bitcoin, drop $415 billion into Bitcoin. We have the opportunity to see Bitcoin at a new all-time high. But we don't know what their strategy is going to be. We don't know what currency they're going to invest into.
Right. I mean, it's always just a matter of just waiting it out and seeing what these people do and then deciding if you want to go in.
I mean, they passed the law, though. So regardless, that $415 billion is going into the liquidity of the market. Like, they've allotted 20%.
I need Bishop to reach out to someone and be like, hey, check out this gambling thing. I mean, Germany is very gambling friendly, too. So for online casinos and such. So,
Yeah, I need to have a look around, yeah.
I have people that speak German. We can make some German ads.
Yeah.
We can do it. We can do it together.
Beautiful.
And you know what? We can just get Google Translate and I'll do all of them. I'll just tappy.
Hey, yeah, I think we'll have some interest in the outcomes of that.
Hey, but it'd be funny.
You should let your users need to know that Google Translate for Japanese doesn't really work well. It's just wrong.
It doesn't work very well?
No, it does not work very well.
Oh, that's exciting to hear because I use it.
Yeah, so it's just very random sometimes.
Just make sure that these stars you introduce me to understand I use Google Translate and I'm not fluent.
I think the language needed with them is a little bit different, so I think you'll be fine there.
Oh, okay. I'm fluent in that language.
Yeah, just a lot of smiles and
Well,
I think
they're actually honestly like every star I've ever talked to is like super chill.
I mean, they're very communicative. They know how to interact with people.
They're very cool people, really. Like,
yeah.
I mean,
look, it's a pressure of the world, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
so
it shapes the world, man. If you look at like the internet and like credit cards and all of that, like porn is the flagship for improvement and evolution of the species.
That's a great angle. Yeah.
It is. I like honestly look at like all the developments we've had in technology because of porn. Like,
I mean, if you look at also the other way, right, where everywhere it's repressed and restricted, the population there tend to be the world's number one users of these sites, right? Whereas here it's a lot more open and, you know, not as taboo, but it's got some taboos, but still it's not to the extent it is in some other countries. I'd say it's a lot, you know, nicer here than in the US, for example.
Yeah, absolutely. And I personally, I really just like, I got a lot of respect for the innovation of the industry, right?
Yeah.
You know, they got porn in 4K now. I found that out yesterday because we were having, there's a reason why I found out. I wasn't watching in 4K. We were talking about porn in 4K, right? Because one of my cast members on my bigger channel, he got a new computer that can do 4K because he's got 4K monitors. And like,
I mean, I think you should, again, Mochi can elaborate here, but I'm pretty sure you have full virtual reality in super high definition.
Oh, yeah. No, we were talking about
right?
that too. And now I'm like, I need an Oculus.
Yeah. I mean, this is all out there. And then there's other technology coming out of Japan where, you know, you can get much more enhanced experiences with your Oculus at the same time.
We got to enhance our porn.
So, you know.
But yeah, no, this is really, really cool, man. This is a really cool project that you guys got going on. I'm looking at, are you guys going to be sticking to on the pre-sale? Like you're looking at a 1 BNB, but no more than 5.
I think we're from 0.1 to 5 is the ideal focus. We want to restrict. We do want to see a whitelist. There's a few projects with a lot of potential recently that just got destroyed by bots. So we want to be able to, you know, at least, you know, diminish their potential effects onto it.
Well, that's
the main concern.
This is a cool project that I'm going to actually send to a couple of my people that like to get in early on things. So like I'm already like, if you hear my keyboard, it's because I'm sending it to people right now. Like
nice.
Because this is cool. It does not take much for me to realize that I mean,
look, one thing I want people to realize is we're a team that's all about execution, right? Myself and Bishop have been on working on different projects in the past together. We've done startups. I've exited 2 of them. And so people go in and they're like, hey, you should make your website like, I don't know, mini Doge or something like that. It's like, look, we've spent a whole bunch of money already with a development group out of Canada, right? So we're going to be subcontracting a huge amount of the development very quickly so the platform goes live quickly with a team in Canada that I've known for some time, and they're superstars, right? They've done some huge Solidity-based programming, and they do stuff for like banks and places like this.
A lot of my buddies,
simple contracts.
A lot of my buddies do a lot of sports betting. So like, you know, I'm like, yeah, I'm not like I'm not a paid shill here. Like everyone knows this. Like I love this idea to be able to bet on literally anything. Like you could have a group of friends in a room and place a bet on who takes the next shit. Like this is cool. This is cool. I like this. It is such a basic level type of use case that I could foresee anybody wanting to utilize.
Right. And there's also another aspect where we were talking about the big events, right? Let's take Formula, you know, like F1 racing in Singapore, right? It's been canceled a couple of times now because of the epidemic, but there are people who go around discreetly, if you will, getting private pools happening, and you then fork over a bunch of cash to this person who's running it, and then they'll pay you out later. But instead of that, they can just use these apps to run these pools, which is much more secure for everyone and will allow a lot more people to bet in at the same time, rather than, you know, them saying, I don't know who the hell you are, I'm not going to do this with you, right? So those people who host these bets, they make a serious amount of money. but this could just make it way wider and much larger rather than going through the official channels, which are pretty restrictive in the Singapore area.
Right. I mean, this is just, it's very, very cool. And of course, you guys are going to have your own app probably designed up and ready to go for it.
Right. And that's where Bishop comes into play. And the back end is more Mochi and the other guys, plus our team in Canada. So, Bishop, can you talk about that?
Yeah, sure. Sorry. Yeah, so as Shinji was saying, yeah, I have a lot of experience in consulting companies and setting up, how do you say, dev team around for them. So I have some good connections around with developers, front-end developers, so I can get a team up and running quite fast, which is the goal here, to get the app as fast as possible.
We've already got a certain design framework and UI for it right now. There's been much more development on the back-end side of things, which is kind of like the pancakeswap predictive platform, which the prediction beta got released a couple of weeks ago. So there's some aspects of that which we were pretty happy with, and we pinned it in our Telegram right away saying, hey, look, this is a similar tech to what we're doing. And so once that's done, then integrating the front end with it, to make it very seamless. And the ideal situation is once we are strong enough and stable enough and the legal situation is well understood, maybe we set up in Malta or in Sweden or a country that's very friendly for these things. Then we would then potentially look at making iPhone or Android apps as well.
Right. Now, what I can see also is there's a lot of crazy things, man. I think like you guys could eventually host like your own like sporting events and stuff and sponsor people and whatnot at sporting events and all sorts of different shit. And also like have like commentators watching these events on behalf of the people and just like create a whole ecosystem and sphere of individuals. Like it's very cool.
So one of our ideas, I mean, it's all steps, right? Baby steps because of the legal situations where some of us live, especially in Japan, which has us, worried about doing these things, right? But one of the initial things which we'll do as a giveaway, for example, is we'll support hosts that are running interesting pools, right? Of course, we can support hosts that are doing stuff on sports and bring in commentators or people who would be part of the sponsorship team or things like this with them. But at the same time, things completely different, right? I mean, like you said, who's going to slap out the other person first? Something that's interesting that can capture a certain culture or target audience, right? I mean, if it's political, obviously, midterm elections will be coming up in another year or so in the US. Out in Indonesia, there's various different local sports teams and martial arts events that are happening. So we can support those hosts, and whoever has the most interesting thing or the largest gathering or whoever shills the most that brings in more people, we'll give them a pretty decent payout, right? And even just right now, we're going to probably run a quick little thing of similar to what you said. Who can come up with the most interesting ideas for using the platform and put that out on Twitter and Facebook, and whoever has the most interesting ideas will win coin and BNB.
Right.
So yeah, I think it's pretty wide.
I think you have sporting events every day. You could gamble on fights. You could gamble on soccer games. You could gamble on slaps. I'm going back to the slap thing. I can't help myself. I mean,
I just can't.
It's super cool. So yeah. I mean, it's really nifty, man. And I'm excited for the project, man. And hopefully you guys can come back. That'd be great.
Yeah, we'd love to do a follow-up and, see how things have gone and give a quick update to everybody of what's going on the back end. We will get a lot more communicatives going forward for Monday on the channel. I know a couple of guys who've been with us for a couple of weeks, telling us on the channel, hey, guys, you guys need to pump it up. We're like, look, we're getting everything set up in the back end, and then we'll start on Monday.
Right.
So, and we're going to use this interview as one of our bases to push it out to everywhere. And hopefully use your platform as well.
I'm excited about this whole thing because I'm slap happy right now. Let's just put it that way. Okay. this is really, really cool, man. It's hitting a lot of different, it hits everything that you could gamble on. And it's so stupid simple. Like as you said, you don't think anyone else is doing it. And I don't see a real like capacity to generate your own gambling ring from home, like from any other source.
We've looked, we can't see it. We're worried that there will be competitors pretty quick, as in every single porn star related one.
Yeah, but you got Japanese stars. That's special.
Yeah. I mean, look, this is like I said. Look, I mean, people get worried about the tokenomics. Well, you got a pretty big budget there, and all the really successful projects have been able to push out real apps quickly. Yeah. So a good chunk of the money, instead of just going for pure marketing, is going to go and hire in a bunch more developers, get them all focused to put out the first phase A/B betting as soon as possible. Right. And we've got the contract set up. We've already talked it through. They've been doing the technical and solution architecting of the entire of the whole back end. Bishop has been talking with his team that he's been working with for many years. So everything's in place. So we launch, get the funds, push it through, get the platform out, and then do the next phase of marketing, saying, hey, this is there. You guys can use it. So all the people who are holding tokens, they start getting happier because their value just keeps going up and up. As someone like you saying, hey, use this. We're going to bet on how many times this guy can take a slap. And then all your buddies like, oh, what's going on? What is this? And then they buy the coin and they put some money in, and hey, now we have a bunch of new holders into the ecosystem.
Right.
And then they will then go off and go, damn, I can use this, and I'm going to use this and see who's the better barbecuer. It's going to be a barbecue showdown between myself and Frank over there, and I think I make a better burger. I mean, I don't know about you Americans, but the truth of the matter is Canadians make better barbecue than Americans. And that's a bet we can have, And
you really could. That, eating contests, like you could be like at your party, and whoever can suck the most dicks, you bet on that.
There you go, right?
Like
absolutely
everything and anything. You could like put nuns in a boxing ring and see which nun knocks out the other, like nun boxing
stuff. Yeah, any event.
I mean, it's. Oh, dude, it's just so cool. It's a cool project, okay? Like, all right, so you haven't paid me any money, and I'm actually like, it's just a cool project. It's a cool project.
This is the exact reaction we like, right? We like tell people, and they see the potential, but I'm loving your hype.
Like, yeah, it's a cool thing, like, ladies and gentlemen, in the left corner, 72 years of age. She's got 18 grandchildren. It's Grandma Murphy. Granny boxing, bro.
Granny boxing, granny baking, granny everything you can think of.
Granny farm. No.
Yeah, it's just
full circle.
I was going to be like, hey, let my wife listen to this interview. I might like take out some of the last, but just listen to the first few minutes. Maybe.
Well, there's going to be censorship, so it should be okay. It should be okay. But I feel like the editors do their fucking job. They kind of hate me sometimes, right? Because I pay them per video, not per censorship, or not per minute.
I'm sure they'll be a little bit confused as to what should I censor here. I'm not really sure.
No, that's what happens, man. Because they're in India, so they're like, we were doing I was with crypto vendor on the Everrise interview, and they were censoring out pre-ejaculatory man, like the ejaculation part.
I guess
that was a thing. I
wonder if that's like a cultural thing.
Oh man, I don't know, but it was so funny because it was like those unnecessary censorship videos.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're like they are so paranoid about letting one of my videos get taken down. They're just like, oh, we're going to censor all the questionable things. Because, when we talked with Rocket, I told them to censor out the word on the title. So it would flag, but I never told them to censor it in the video. So every single time the word comes up now, they're like, aha! Sometimes it's not even the right kind of come. Sometimes it's like, come here. And I'm like, guys,
Aha, rocket. Aha, rocket.
No, it's
Right.
ka-ching, ka-ching.
I see.
Yeah, they're just really zealous. And I love my editorial team. They're all based over there in India, and they do a really good job. So some public praise for them rather than just, making them work.
Yeah, they got to be careful, right? They got to be careful, make sure your videos do well.
Yeah, and they do a really good job. I have a lot of Shalvin, you're listening to this. I got a lot of appreciation for you and what you do for the company. So thank you.
Nice.
Yeah. So anything else we need to cover relating to OreNo?
The whitelist is important. We want people in on that. We want people to be, join us in Telegram. We'll have a couple of voice chats being scheduled where we'll announce a few giveaways and contests within them.
So you actually have an open whitelist.
Yeah, so it's there on the website in the how to buy section. And that was a small issue. We need to make it where it's on the landing page right away. That will be fixed up pretty soon. And the whitelist went live basically yesterday. So
I'm thinking of getting in on this whitelist. I'm not just saying that for hype. I'm legitimately, yeah.
Nice. So with that, we haven't done anything to even advertise or talk about it except in our Telegram. And we've got people trickling in and putting their names and their Telegram and their wallet addresses in there already.
Well,
it's just been interesting.
You get me that information, sir, because
just go to www.orenobets.com. That's the start.
Yeah.
And all our little links are there. And we hope it's a pretty successful launch and we can have this out as soon as possible.
My dude just says, I'm filling out the whitelist, bro.
Nice.
Yeah, it's cool, man. I think if I can afford it, I'm gonna do a full 5 BNB whitelist spot with you guys, because this is cool, man. I love this. That said, you can fill it out through that link. So it was like, what's the link? I'm like, that's the link. He's like, okay. See, look, we've only been knowing each other for about an hour now, and I'm already getting you guys, people. Look at me go.
That's amazing. See, this is it. And I think with just the energy, the stuff you bring, and
I love the space. I'm passionate. I'm passionate about what I do because there's so much to the space itself that, I learn something new every day. And the fact how fucking creative and innovative you fucking developers are, as in the space as a whole, it's so fucking cool to me, man, because I feel like I'm amongst like-minded people.
Hey, crypto is the future, right?
It is.
These things allow people to interact in ways we never interacted before.
And, I've been saying like people are the currency of the world and crypto is the currency of the future.
Yeah, exactly. It's, we're getting away from the full constant regulatory frameworks that the governments want us to be in, allowing people more freedom to build money and, invest in things that they want to, the way they want to. Look at the Robinhood GME fiasco, right?
Right.
They got fined and things of that. These kinds of...
I got a really good buddy, by the way, who helps people set up audits, too. So...
Oh, beautiful. Okay.
Yeah. Nathan Hawk, he was actually yesterday's video. It's security and freedom. That's what he's all about. He's all about he's very much against KYC. He pretty much only holds privacy coins.
Right.
And he goes to DEF CON every year. If you know what DEF CON is.
Yeah, of course.
And he's done speeches and spoke at multiple different conventions and stuff. And he's a really knowledgeable guy. So if you guys, when you're ready to get your audit out there, because you guys aren't even at the point of having an audit yet.
Right.
You guys are at the you're announcing a whitelist spot on the podcast, which is cool as fuck. So I'm excited. I am so glad that you guys were, and I gotta also say this too, right? I want to say this, I don't know you guys personally, all right? We just met, but
yeah,
these gentlemen right here, folks at home, they're the only ones that were ever tried to talk to me before the scheduled time. They also are the first ones to actually call me for the interview rather than the other way around. their hunger to get this out there, like at least as far as doing the interview, has surpassed others. They're hungry for it.
I just want to also say one thing. Like, look, I'm actually Canadian, but I've been in Japan for most of my entire career, which is now over 20 years.
What led you to Japan, by the way?
It's actually another startup that I was a part of, and we exited early on, and I had to do some support for the transition in Japan.
Okay.
So that's what brought me here, and then loved the country, ended up staying, built a decent career here, and had a work across Asia. It's always exciting to be around here.
Mm-hmm.
I go home, travel, and visit. It's a little bit different, but Asia's Japan especially is a really nice and easy place to live.
I have a love of the Orient in general.
Yeah,
like
it's a good place. It's interesting.
You know where it comes from? My love of Oriental culture. It comes from the cinema, just like the old school movies. Because
yeah,
like,
those are awesome.
So, like, to kind of break it down, my dad's favorite genre is anything with subtitles.
Beautiful.
And if you were to meet my dad, you would never guess, right? You would never guess. He plays like 12 instruments. He was a minister in a Christian church. He retired after 40 years of doing ministry. And he's got a big mustache. He was a master carpenter for the Detroit Union and all that. And like, me and my dad have hundreds, if not thousands of hours just watching Kung Fu movies and Wushu movies and just anything Orient related, anything over there in Asia, from like Korea to Japanese cinema to Chinese cinema, just all over it. So that's where my love of that sort of stuff came from. And then, of course, watched a little bit of anime and things like that. And just that whole continent. The whole continent of Asia is just so cool, and it's it's the culture.
There's a lot of different unique cultures here, right? I mean, it's just a huge.
It's not all the same. Well. That's not what I'm saying at all. Just like,
I mean, they're very different, and you can travel around and interact, and but at the same time, I mean, the U.S. is also vastly different depending on which state you're in. I mean, common language, but it's I've done some like biking across the U.S. and driving across the U.S. and it's beautiful.
Florida is much different than Michigan.
Yeah, it really is.
Like, Florida is its own country at this point. Like they're their own thing. And Texas too, And I'm not saying what I'm saying is just like that part of the world over there, just the whole Asiatic part of the world. It's so much different than the rest of the world. And it's wonderful people. Like, I've yet to meet someone from that area of the world that I just wasn't fascinated by,
So, I mean, getting back to the whole, we're reaching out to you aspects of things. We, Japanese work culture, we're punctual. We want to execute. We want to, make sure we're doing things properly, right? Hence, we're going to be as transparent as possible. People can reach out anytime they want, and I'm happy to answer questions. Now, with the beauty of things like Discord and Telegram voice chat, happy to get on calls. And if anyone has any concerns, they want to talk, or they even want to pitch, being potentially joining the project in some capacity, I'm happy to hear them out.
Yeah, and the whole Japanese aspect too, with the honor, the focus on honor in Japan is very, very high.
Yeah, and we do what we say.
Yeah. So that my whole point of bringing it up was like, it's a cool project from a place that has a very high focus on integrity and honor.
Right. We're not going to be doing any kind of scammy things. So, I mean,
it's not hard, be. I'm going to be on the whitelist, God.
Exactly.
Like, I hope not. I mean, I don't give like endorsements to tell people, hey, buy this. I think it has a ton of potential. I'm not going to give a projection, right? I think the idea is amazing, but I don't publicly tell people, go buy this, right? I don't. But do I think that the use case is amazing? 100%. Do I think that the project has phenomenal potential? 100%. Now, me ethically, I can't like say, yo, this is, go do this, because I just met you today, right?
Exactly. And, financial advice and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's not financial advice. But am I personally going to put a little bit of money into it? Yeah, absolutely. Am I going to gamble on slaps? Yeah, I'm going to gamble on slaps. Am I going to like have a lot of fun with the use case? Absolutely. But I'm not saying everyone at home do what I do. Sometimes I'm a bag of rocks, you know, sometimes I'm dumb and I clank around a little bit. But do I think that this is an innovative thing in the space that's really cool? Absolutely, I do. I do. But, you know, people, do your own research and never put in, and especially with this, here's the thing, folks. Crypto is a gamble, and this is a gambling crypto. So be very conscious and conservative when you're placing your bets, folks. Like, please. Like, because you could lose all your money regardless of what they do.
Yeah. And you know, for all the listeners, just remember, once the platform's out, we're a bit stable. We get Crypto God over to visit Japan, and we'll run a betting pool on which he ends up with.
Or how many I end up with.
Oh, maybe multiple different betting pools.
I'm going to this convention that's locally, and I have this ongoing joke that I'm going to speed run the convention. See, like, hit all the eligibles. Just speed run. See how quick I can work my way through.
Podcast?
No. Women.
Yeah. I mean, just like, I'd like to invite you to a private podcast.
Like, you know, ideally, I go to this convention, I meet a nice, lovely Japanese star, and I settle down. You know, low expectations.
Yeah.
Keep
we'll
it
send
conservative.
You some great one-liners or Nampa's words, where Nampa just means like picking up. We'll give you some great one-liners that way.
Oh yeah, we got this, guys. But yeah, no, I would love to just keep in touch and see how this project goes, because this is cool. This is different than a lot of the other stuff that's going on. And also, you know, it's not very often I get a guest where the conversation just flows very freely.
I mean, you're an easy person to talk to, man.
I know. So why do some of these people it's like talking to fucking rocks, man? Like, I have experience talking to rocks, don't get me wrong. But, you know, but you know, this was a lot of fun. This was a great way to start my workday. Thank you.
Absolutely. And you know, with your energy, I'm more worried about getting to sleep now. I mean, it's 12:30. I just got to stay up a little bit more. Watch some Star Wars Bad Batch.
I hype people up. It's what I do. I had this one guest a while back. He's like, "Man, I'm super tired. I don't know how good this interview is going to go." I'm like, "Just trust me. I got you. I got you."
You got an energy level, you know.
Yeah, you know, you got to, right?
There was a guy you did a podcast with just, I think, recently, where he's got a token, and I think it's related to more about like I think like depression and you know, trying to bring people into a good space.
Yeah,
and
Ty, yeah, that's my buddy.
And I remember him just laughing at the start because he got surprised by the change in energy from the pre-talk, and I mean, you've just been hyped from the very first time we got on, from when you had to take your garbage out to now.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, and my energy level, you know, for the listeners that don't know me, you know, I have a mic voice that I use that's separate from, like, I'm going to talk business beforehand. Like, we're going to discuss a little bit of different specifics, you know. Like, I let my balls drop for the interviews, right? And like, so a lot of these guys, they come on, and for the most part, yes, I'm enthusiastic, but I'm also way more mild-mannered off the show, right? Like, I'm still me. Like, I scale my enthusiasm. It's not like it's a fictitious or fabricated enthusiasm. I can't be this every hour of the day, god damn it. Can you imagine?
There's something... There's still something, I don't know, like in your, like, I don't know, soybeans or corn or something like that over there. You guys are doing. You got a lot of energy. It's great. And I get it. I mean, you know, it's the stage voice, but it's great. It's fantastic.
Oh yeah,
the podcasts are great, high energy.
Well,
the good,
you know,
stuff in the crypto front.
Yeah, I love. Well, first off, I love what I do, right? And I love to perform, and I love bringing, because the same way you guys are bringing something to the space where it's new, right? No one in the space has as much hype as I do.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything else like this at all.
Nobody does what I do, because no one else in the space on a regular daily basis is talking to brand new projects every single day. Nobody.
It's non-stop work.
Yeah, I fucking love it, bro. Like, here's the thing, right? People don't realize like what my real power in the space is. You know what my real power in the space is?
No, just being hyped about
every day that I work in the space, I learn a new strategy that a project uses. My knowledge touches every day I go, I learn about a new project and how they operate every single day. I have my eyes on more projects than anybody else in the space consistently, and talking to the teams and the developers in depth every single day. Sometimes as much as 3 to 4 new projects every day.
That's a pretty interesting view into the world of crypto now, right?
Yeah. Because
I mean, you imagine you're the kind of people that government should have a talk with to really understand what is potentially possible here.
Yeah, because
they talk to a lot of guys who just don't really get it. They touch a surface level, or they talk about smart contracts with banking and smart contracts with security, and what the blockchain can do for government voting and things like that. But they don't really understand the people perspective, or what kind of creative apps can be built out to let people just interact.
Well, I'm also talking to those people too. Like, I got a buddy over at Leeway Hertz, who's the CEO.
Right.
They've been around since 2007. They were the first people to make an app for the app store, any app store. They were putting apps on phones back when you had to jailbreak them. Okay. They are responsible for Alexa.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
Leeway Hertz, really great friend of the podcast. I'm actually like in process of recording one of their insights because they're wanting me to start putting stuff out for them a little bit. And that I'm only like halfway through what they sent me, and sort of like 9 minutes long. And it's how to launch an NFT marketplace. It's really fucking cool, right? And I am so like integrated into the space now because it's my job, right? Like, I meet people every single day and I'm seeing what's happening, and I'm starting to like, can you imagine how integrated I'm going to be a year from now, Shinji?
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
And you'll have all the full access to the projects that, you just keep in touch, and you'll know which ones are going and which ones aren't. And
you know who I talked to yesterday? The director of operators of the Ethereum name service.
Wow.
Like
on the podcast?
Yeah.
Is that coming out?
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
You know that .eth that's out there?
Yeah.
That guy.
Well, that's going to be pretty interesting. Listen.
I talked to that guy. It's so cool because, like, here's the thing, right? These other crypto YouTubers, and this is me shilling my platform now, god damn it. They just want to talk about the popular things. They're not talking about the stuff that's innovatively changing the space.
Right.
Like, they're like, well, what's trending? That's what I'm going to talk about.
Mini Doge. Right.
Yeah, fuck that. Like it'd be cool to have Doge on. Why not? If they want to talk to me, cool. If not, fuck them. I don't give a fuck. You know why? Because I get to talk to people like you. I get to talk to the people from like Leeway Hertz, who compete number 4 amongst their top 10 competitors in the world, by the way, that developed Alexa, right? I get to talk to the minds behind the Ethereum name service. I get to talk to everyone that these other YouTubers are just kind of not talking to because they don't do their research. They're not trying to educate the space in an entertaining format. Like, yeah, we have lots of fun here, but amongst all the jokes, Shinji, you noticed like the humor served a really great purpose. They understand that they can bet on anything now because of all the ridiculous jokes that I made. Because
that's the way. I mean, it's the energy and everything that keeps people listening to podcasts. You know, I checked out some of the podcasts to listen to what kind of a person you were, and then just continued on. I mean, I've been listening to a few of them, and I mean, there's definitely a lot of interesting cases.
Yeah,
so
it's crazy, right? Like,
yeah,
if you're a developer, it's almost kind of silly not to be subscribed to my channel.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, especially to hear out people's thinking, right? Yeah. All right, so these guys are thinking like this. Okay, why are they doing that?
And you can,
right? And everyone has opinions on it,
right?
But it's a good learning tool too.
And not just that, though. You can see the type of person that's behind the project,
right? Because
I bring out the truth of the person, Shinji. That's the power of this. Like, have you watched the interview?
Yeah,
with James Franco,
right?
You know how he got like he had this weird power to get people to just reveal their shit? Like I've
Yeah.
had these developers sing on the podcast, bro.
All right.
Like get them to break into song because I like to sing. I love to sing, you know. But like, and as you mentioned, Ty, Ty from Rook Token, which that's real.
Right.
I'm going to tell him that you listened to the interview and that was the one you pointed out. He's going to be so happy because
It's a beautiful case, right?
He's working his ass off, and
Yeah, I mean, he seems like a really sincere and caring dude.
he
A lot
is.
of empathy, and the idea is just really, I mean, it's a pretty solid kind of thing that he wants to do.
He really is, man. And like, I am so glad that like he's at least getting some appreciation because a few things happened like where you know how it is, man. People come into a project and they'll offer help, then they'll just be snakes.
Right.
So Rook Token right now is extremely undervalued because of what they're going to do. Like Ty is a friend now. Like he came on for an interview like 3 weeks before we actually got to record it. And we ended up just talking, man. We talked for like 3 hours. I know the dude. He messaged me this morning, like I develop relationships with these developers, and it's really interesting because if you're in like from a developer standpoint, you need to be listening to the channel and we make it available on like Spotify, Google Podcast, Anchor, listen.ffm, God. And then Everrise is putting out a radio station and they're going to carry the podcast there too. Like we're getting picked up. We're getting picked up, bro. It's a whole thing and I'm excited. And like that's the thing. Like if you're an investor, like I talk about everything. Like we had these other people on yesterday. They developed this app called Simple Crypto that it's a free app that educates you on how Bitcoin works and how the space works, and it offers a little certification at the end. And
that's good. That's pretty necessary.
Yeah, and it's
free.
Needed.
It's a definite.
It's cool. It's some cool shit. Like who else is talking to just developers of educational apps, developers of just blockchain that don't have a product to offer? Like all these other YouTubers, they're just offering information on stuff to buy and sell. They're not educating anybody. Like they're not bringing these new products every single day and applications and new tokens, new coins, and the Ethereum name service. Like I
remember
what I do.
Was it only like 3 years ago? I was in Dubai, and as a pretty senior lawyer buddy of mine who's out there, and he just did not believe in the whole concept of the blockchain, and he's like, it's just not needed. It won't really click, and that was just his view, right? Because they don't really understand what it is or understand the potential use cases or what can happen with it or what a cryptocurrency is versus tokens. And there's just so much like emotional misinformation or just wrong information as well that, like podcasts such as this, which are educating and people can listen to all these different types of tokens and currencies coming out. They can start to get a much better sense of what is actually going to happen in this space.
Like, for instance, Leeway Hertz is developing a vaccine registry that's available on the blockchain.
Wow, that's fantastic. That's a smart idea right now.
Yeah. And like the guys
vaccine
that made
passports
Alexa. Yeah, like so that vaccine passports that's going to make travel restrictions because of COVID so much easier. Be able to tell.
Yeah, right now,
because
American
certain countries won't want
all different
people
ones.
with certain vaccines, right? But they'll be able to see what vaccine they have, when they got it, what stage of vaccine they have, see that it's completed in instance through the blockchain. And that's amazing. That changes the world.
That is.
And without this podcast, a lot of people wouldn't know about it because they don't really do. That's not like things they put on their website. That's just something he talked to me about on the podcast. It's not advertised on the website. Like, it's so fucking cool, man. Long story short, I'm passionate about what I do, and I'm excited for your guys' project too. Like, it's nifty to me.
Thanks, man. We're very happy to hear that, and hope all your viewers will be as well.
Now, I give an endorsement to the idea, not the project. How about that?
Yeah, fantastic.
I can't give an official endorsement. I'm not a shill. You know what I mean?
No, you give an endorsement to the project idea, and we'll take it from there and make sure we deliver something that everyone's going to be happy with.
I would love to see OreNo, like, I don't care about the word moon. I don't I would like to see the project flourish because the idea is super cool. I would love to see it flourish personally, just because it's needed in the space. I think it's needed in the world to be able to facilitate like all your gambling needs in one place, all of it in one place. Like you guys answered a really big question that the world needed. Because, you know, crypto's decentralized, yes, but it's really a centralized location for all your gambling needs. And there needed to be a hub. There was never a hub, right? Like the ultimate virtual casino.
Yeah, and completely decentralized, and people can do whatever they want.
Yeah, and it's not like a lot. It's literally just an open-ended, this works for whatever you want thing. And that's the beauty of the project. To me, that's the beauty of it. Because
people can white label it and put it out as if their own little tool, as long as they're fine in wherever they're living. It can just easily be out nonstop and people just buying in the tokens.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. And you know what, man? Like, I'm excited for the future of it. Let's stay in contact.
Definitely.
You know, like really, let's stay in contact. I love this whole thing. So, gentlemen, thank you so much. I know Bishop got like me and Shinji just like bromanced it up the entire time. Bishop, Mochi, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no problem. You had a good connection going on, so all good.
No worries. No worries. I introduce you to the
Yes! Sorry. I am the excite. Pitch and tense left and right.
Let's meet in Tokyo once everything stabilize for sure.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, man! Like, so this is my goal. Ready? I personally have set a benchmark for me not to travel for 2 years because I want to invest my time into this project right here of what I'm doing. So in 2 years, because you guys are going to be around in 2 years,
of course.
So in 2 years, I'm going to cash in that ticket and come out.
Definitely,
sure.
Making a full VIP tour.
Hell yeah, man! Let's go. You know, so in 2 years, I expect to come out. Like that's my expectation. So you better keep on the up and up, or you know, seppuku or something. I don't know.
We're here for the very long term, man.
That's phenomenal. Well, gentlemen, I appreciate you. Now, folks, it is the time that you know that you need to like, comment, and subscribe and share with all of your friends. And while you're at it, you might as well ring the bell, because how else are you going to get information on brand new, exciting projects every fucking day, baby? It's informative. It's entertainment. We talk about everything underneath the sun when it comes to the crypto space, and sometimes a lot of stuff not involving the crypto space. But how else are you going to get to know these amazing people behind these amazing projects? It happens nowhere else other than here. That's right. Now, the last thing you need to do when you go and get yourself your whitelist on OreNo is you know what time it is. Hold on that